Hi everyone, welcome to FuseCo. I'm George and this is Anthony, and we're here to talk a little bit more about the Sonicel Isuna hybrid inverter energy management system. Anthony, one of the things that I'm really astounded by are just what comes in the box, the standard features.
Yep.
I keep feeling like calling them special features because there's a lot to
For
consider.
some.
Because it mixes in with the smarts of the
Sure,
machine, right?
sure.
So let's begin by discussing the communications aspect.
Yep. Yeah. So with every inverter, it comes with a communication dongle. The one we get in Australia is specifically for Australia. It supports Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and the beauty of this is that they can produce a single product, and then they can produce improvements and standard changes. It gets back to the fact that the unit is upgradable and I won't say future proof because I hate using it, but to the best of their ability, they've actually separated the communications, because if anyone's been in the communications game, everything changes all of the time. All the standards and everything else could be the Wi-Fi standard, could be whatever. So basically having this as a separate product or a separate device means that, for example, it might be the first thing that gives trouble, because a lot of Wi-Fi routers and things like that don't last 15 to 20 years. You can replace the unit easily, and nothing needs to change on the actual unit itself.
Yeah,
so
that's fantastic.
Serviceability is number one on this. And the other thing with the communications within the unit is that there's a hardware component as well. For example, in off-grid mode, the relay output on this can be used for starting a generator.
Okay.
But on-grid mode, it can be used for initiating a heat exchanger for heating water, or starting an air conditioner in the house or building. So you can use it for taking load off as the battery depletes of an evening, for example, to basically minimise battery consumption for non-essential loads.
Okay, that's fantastic. So what is CSIP?
Another thing that's inside the communication module. So most states now are adopting CSIP, which is the Common Smart Inverter Protocol. This allows the network provider to actually control your inverter so that it can actually stop exporting on critical peak output days. This is like a backstop issue, so the grid isn't overloaded. It's a mandatory requirement from October last year in many jurisdictions, and it's fast becoming the standard Australia-wide. So that all the products in Australia are sold with a communication adapter that has that built in.
That's fantastic. I mean, definitely made for Australia.
Absolutely.
We have been working with Sonicel for a long time.
Yes, we have.
Preparing to make this an Australian product.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
It also comes standard with a power meter.
It does. Yeah. So this just shows the little single phase power meter, but this is a standard product. It comes with it with every unit, and obviously there's a 3-phase version for the 3-phase units. What it allows us to do is it allows us to limit the import, the export, and also allows you to do phase balancing on the inverter itself.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So it's all about capacity control as well as it's sort of virtually a power quality device in many ways. Hence Sonicel, they're leaders in that.
You mentioned capacity control. Now let's just break that down a little bit.
Sorry.
So no, because what does that mean? We're on a 3-phase site.
Yes.
Let's talk us through how phase balancing can be really helpful.
So it might be a commercial or even a household situation where there are a lot of single phase loads. Nothing's going to stop everyone using a red phase at the same time, or a blue phase or a white phase. They're usually color coded. If everyone uses everything on red phase, what it might be doing is overloading the main circuit breaker on the site. The power meter sees that extra current, and then the unit itself actually injects power back into red phase to balance the mains at the actual main circuit breaker. So in fact, it's actually increasing the capacity on the site.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, Anthony, one of the things that keeps coming up in conversation from customers who have purchased the Sonicel Isuna technology is how much they love the app.
Yeah, well, the app's really nice.
I know that you've installed an Isuna system in your own home.
Absolutely. Yep.
And you've been using the app now for quite a while.
Yes.
Talk us through why it's such an enjoyable experience.
Like all things, I guess it takes a while to get used to using any new app. So I mean, there is always that lead-in period.
Sure.
But quite often you find that with many products, you're left wanting more information, or you're wanting to drill down and find out what's going on. You can, with the app, it's a simple front screen that summarizes everything: how much you're using, how much you're exporting, how much battery capacity, or how much is in the battery, the SoC. But the beauty also is that you can share it with your colleagues and your family members. So there's multiple accounts within the account. So as a site owner, which would be nominated somebody's email address or whatever, can then assign people within the business or within the house to also join in. It's an education process, because most people really don't know what a kilowatt hour looks like. But after you've been studying, when someone does the cooking, or when the air conditioner's on, or if you can turn the fridges on and off, you can actually physically see everything in the house operating or in the business operating. And it's part of the revolution of teaching people about energy. And I think it's really, I can't tell you how many times I've shared screenshots of the app with friends and gone, la la la, here's the EV charging, look at that, maxing out, I think, I think.
And if you happen to be one of those site managers with those protocols, you can also have security measures and limit certain functionality to certain users.
Yeah, that's right. It's purely a visual thing, unless you're actually in charge of which is obviously the owner. But everybody else can be there and visualize it and actually get an understanding of what's going on, and I think that's a wonderful thing, particularly with kids and things like that. It's like something that over a period of time they can grow up with this technology, and it can be accessible to everyone. Yeah.
Fantastic, Anthony. That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.